Domestic violence is as personal as it gets. Domestic violence, which can include intimate partner violence, is something that is scary and embarrassing for those who are involved. The United States Department of Justice defines domestic violence as a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. Domestic violence can be physical, which would include hitting someone, punching them, throwing them to the ground, slapping them. Domestic violence can also be sexual. This does include rape. It also includes sodomy. Domestic violence is very, very emotionally taxing type of violence. A lot of times these people have complete emotional control over the person that they're involved with. Domestic violence can also be economically challenging. Someone may go to work all day long and bring home a paycheck, and their abuser will sometimes take their paycheck, or they'll tell them how to spend their paycheck, what to spend it on, or how much money that they can actually spend. Domestic violence is also classified by the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence as any behavior that intimidates, manipulates, humiliates, isolates, threatens, blames, or causes injury to someone. Domestic violence is not only scary, but can be life-threatening. Life-threatening. Stick around and I'll tell you why it can become life-threatening. After hearing my speech about domestic violence, you will know who is affected, how many people are affected, and how we can help. Do you know, or have you ever known someone who has been affected by domestic violence or currently still in a relationship classified under the domestic violence category? Let me tell you a little bit more about this. Domestic violence affects more of us than you will ever know. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, an estimated 1.3 million women are victims of physical assault by an intimate partner every single year. Most of these people who are affected are women ages 20 to 24. We're talking college-age girls. These girls are in non-fatal intimate partner violence relationships, but still are classified as domestic violence. And if their situation were to escalate, that's when they would become part of the more fatal intimate partner violence relationships. At this point, ages 20 to 24, most of the relationships that you're dealing with are girlfriend to girlfriend or boyfriend to girlfriend. One, of course, being the abuser, and the other one, of course, being the victim. There are a lot of hidden facts about domestic violence. Once again, according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence can lead to homicide and injury, like we talked about earlier. This would be the more fatal portion of intimate partner violence. It can also have an impact on the economy, that being one person's working, the other person's not working. The one who's not working is normally the one that's in control and is spending the money of the person who is working every day. Domestic violence, or IPV, intimate partner violence, can also lead to sexual assault, and that really does include rape or sodomy. Sometimes when the intimate partner relationship escalates to a violent level, it can be classified as rape if someone does not want to have sex and they're forced to have sex. Another problem with domestic violence is when children witness this violence. Witnessing violence between one's parents has the strongest effect on passing violence to the next generation and the next generation, and so on. 1/3 of female homicide victims are killed by an intimate partner. So these are people that they feel that they're actually the most close to, but these people are becoming so violent it does lead to fatalities. Intimate partner violence costs a whopping $5.8 billion every year. Most of that is geared towards mental health and medical treatment. These people, not just women, but men are involved too. Most of the statistics are on women due to men not always reporting that they are victims of domestic violence. But these people who are the victims, they need lots and lots of therapy to get over this. They also need help on how to keep their situation from escalating, especially if they don't want to leave the relationship. So, how can you help these people that are involved in these intimate partner violence relationships? Here in the Commonwealth, one of the major places is the YWCA. Now, this is geared more towards women. The YWCA of Richmond has a 24-hour hotline. The hotline can actually be reached at 804-643-0888. The hotline does provide free crisis intervention and emergency shelter, as well as counseling. It's a really wonderful group of people. Who I actually work closely with because I'm a forensic nurse with Bon Secours. Another really great resource that we mentioned earlier is the VSDV Alliance, which is the Virginia Sexual and Domestic Violence Action Alliance. It too is an advocacy organization, and it is able to provide any expertise you need dealing with DV or IPV. So let's review it. Domestic violence or intimate partner violence does affect 1.3 million people a year. If you decide to provide someone with resources such as the Action Alliance or the YWCA, please do not let other people know that you are giving them the resources. Once the abuser finds out that their victim is trying to get out of a relationship, that's when they become more threatening. That's when the relationship becomes more fatal. We definitely don't want that to happen. A lot of times women are not ready to leave their relationship, and that's okay too. They have to make a decision to leave, and no one is going to force them into that decision. So again, secretly provide them with information such as the YWCA or the Action Alliance, and please do not, under any circumstances, let their abuser know that you are attempting to help them. Thank you.